What's happening, everybody? Well, this week has been fraught with chasing parts. I say parts, I shouldn't say parts, I should say part. One part. Let me explain. Monday I set out to finally put this brand new AC compressor to work. Got my new manifold lines on, my new fluid line in, new pressure switch here. Of course, there's already a new switch on the compressor. Filled it with PAG oil, rotated, did everything I was supposed to do as far as that's concerned. So these pressure switches, they're kind of all over everywhere. You know, we've got one here, we've got another one that goes right there. I don't know if you guys can see that little blocked off plug right there. It's a little dark, but just snap rings at your high pressure side. And then you've got this one here. So this one's been replaced, and it was the correct one. The one that I was given last year, yeah, it's been a year, for here was incorrect. It wasn't the right one for that pigtail. So let me show you receipt wise. Let's take the folder in and we'll take a look and see what kind of fun we've had. It's been fun trying to chase down a very simple part. There we go. Oh yeah, and we still have this to install, but I don't think I'm going to need to. So that, and I talked to Lori up there at O'Reilly. She said she'd take it back. So no worries there. Or I just hang on to it in case I do need it. But let's get into the receipts here. Let's take a look and see what we've got. Now, I always keep really good records of everything that I do to any vehicle. I keep a list of no expense repairs. I keep a list of needed repairs, things to do, so on and so forth, and I check them off. As I check them off, they get written down. And I take care of my vehicles that way and keep good records just for my own peace of mind. But it also helps if you're deciding that you're going to go ahead and pass that vehicle along to someone else. They'll know everything that's been done. So let me get these receipts out here. There's receipt number 1. There's receipt number 2. It's not on that one. And I think this is receipt number 3. That's receipt number 3. And then somewhere else down in this pile down here is the first receipt, the initial receipt for purchasing all of the AC components. So let's take a look. All right, let me make sure I've got them in order here. We got that, that, and that. Okay, so I got the wrong switch to begin with, which is in a receipt here. Discovered that it was the wrong switch on Monday, so I went down on Monday and exchanged the improper switch of 36655 with the needed switch, which was 35969. I was told to come back at 1:30. We'll have your part. So I went, messed around for a little while, went back, and the box looked used. It was dirty, and it even had a sticker on it with some dude's name on it. So before leaving the store, I popped it open and drug the switch out. Sure enough, that switch was as used as the day is long. So that was that receipt. So Doug then ordered the correct part again, 35969, which was ordered on Monday for Tuesday. So I went in yesterday, and the part that I got yesterday, they're different colors. There's purple, there's green, there's black, and there's gray on the plug-in ends. That would be on this end right here, okay? You got black, gray, green, purple, black, gray, green, black, gray, green, purple, black, gray, green, and purple, right? And they all have different attaching points. They may fit the application, but you won't have the right pigtail to plug it in. So this one came in 35969, which is supposed to be the correct part. The original sticker to the part number on the box was partially torn, and somebody had magic markered in the 969. The 35 was correct because all the switches start with number 35. So 35 or 36. I know this is getting long-winded, but it's not nearly as long-winded as the 72 hours that I have spent trying to locate this simple little pressure switch. So this one comes in. It is in a box that does not look used, but that does have that torn decal with the correct part number on it. And I had the kid pop it out of the box, and it was new, but it was green instead of being gray. So that took care of that one. So then Lori again got on the computer and ordered yet another 35969 pressure switch. But this time I thought, all right, let's be smart. It's coming from this town, coming from this particular store. Do me a favor, Lori, call that store. I want to make sure it's the right one this time. So fingers crossed, fourth time will be the charm. Then I can finally get the AC going on Sylvester. But now, after I have wasted almost 7 minutes of your guys' time, I'm going to take you real quick around back of Sylvester. We'll take a look and see what's in the bed. No, it's nothing new, nothing old, nothing borrowed, nothing blue. This is the other legacy deck. I went through and refurbished the first one, the one that came off of my legacy, and we're going to be pulling this one out, and we're going to take a look and see what is ailing this one. You guys will be as flabbergasted as I was when I saw what had happened to this deck. And nothing got hit, nothing like that, but you guys just wait and see. I'll get it pulled out of there and we'll take a look at it together, so hang on. Alright, well, outside of some grass piling up and whatnot underneath the belt guards, took the belt guards off. Let's see if we see anything unusual here. Let you guys get a good look. Everything looks alright, doesn't it? See? Everything turns the way it's supposed to. Everything sounds quiet. It all sounds good. Except for one thing. It's kind of hard to see unless I come up here like this. Does that look slightly angled to you? That is the center spindle. But doesn't it look slightly angled? Well, maybe it'll be a little bit more apparent if we come around here and take a look. See, this blade looks pretty even. This blade looks pretty even. Well, this blade's not exactly right. Look how far down this is. My first thought was, oh, I got a bent blade. No. The blade is perfectly straight. If I turn it back around 180 degrees, let me pull the drive shaft out here so it'll turn. There. Okay. Now how can I do this? Let's just see if we can't get it to flip around. Okay, we're going to look right here. See, I can get my hand behind the blade right here. So we're going to rotate it 180 degrees. My hand still goes behind it. The cage that holds the bearings has failed. Catastrophically failed. To the point where the bearings and the shaft and everything are pointed at an angle, about a 10-degree angle. Isn't that nuts? I've never seen anything like that before. So obviously we're going to be doing some rebuilding on that spindle and getting it all squared away. Another thing, this should be welded down here and it's not. The weld has broken loose, so we'll get that remedied. But yeah, and it's again surprising, the belt's fine, everything's fine, nothing else suffered other than it left some pretty nasty hash marks in the lawn. So Ms. Zippo has a good deck on there now that we just went through and rebuilt. You can see that my adjuster here is a little on the loose side too. That's your left to right adjustment to make sure that you're or your front to back adjustment rather, make sure you're nosed up when you're mowing. But anyway, that's what we've got to contend with. So this entire assembly here needs to come off. Quite a bit of work needs to be done. But if we look down here, we can also see that this pulley right here was riding against that lower idler pulley right down there. So how that belt survived, I don't know, but I'm glad that it did, because they're not cheap. It's a 6-sided belt. You have 3 sides here, you have another 3 sides on the other side. So not cheap belts. But we'll go through the whole thing. If we have to, we'll rebuild all 3 spindles. In fact, since we're taking it that far down, we may as well, right? I mean, the thing is, after all, what, 25 years old? So that's what's going on. That's what happened to that deck. Kind of nuts, isn't it? So you guys can stay tuned for the rebuild on this. We did a little bit on, I just touched on the other deck. But this time we get to do these clamshell type spindle housings. I did a rebuild on the earlier model, single piece, but these clamshell types, it's 2 pieces that clamp together. And out here in my grill, I know, strange place for him to be, but I had a neighbor that needed one, so I had him just grab what he needed. We have some here, okay? Just like this. You have top piece and a bottom piece. So we will be using one of those if it's the right height. If it's not, I'll have to order one. And hopefully the shaft is okay. The shaft's probably taller than that one that's in the grill. You guys can go ahead and laugh. It is kind of a silly place for those to be. But, you know, we'll measure, make sure that everything is copacetic. And then afterward, we'll tackle anything else that might be wrong with it. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and call it. We did the AC fiasco that's going on with Sylvester. It should have AC already, but it doesn't. But it will soon. And we've got the Legacy deck number 2 that needs some help. We have different size rollers on here too, I noticed. This one's got a big chunk out of it. So I'm not too concerned about there being different rollers on here. It'll still get the job done. Now this is not the one that broke. This is the one that came off of this mower deck to begin with. So even though I've swapped decks out, it's not going to matter. Everything's going to be just fine. I've already got this deck leveled out to the other Legacy, so it should be leveled out to this one. Not that it matters, because we haven't gotten the gasket to put in there yet. I know, I'm slacking. But that's it. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo. I guess you can just call this a little bit of an update of broken stuff. We'll catch you guys on the next one. And please, help be part of the 21%. If you enjoy the content on my channel, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. hit all notifications, and anytime I post a video, YouTube is supposed to let you know. So we'll catch you on the next one. Later. I'm out of here. But wait! There's more. I was just moving Sylvester over so I could do the oil change service on it. Stepped on the brake pedal and I had brake. I backed it up, stepped on the brake pedal again. Soft brakes. Very, very soft brakes. So then I pumped the brakes a time or two. And right up here by the gas tank, along the frame rail, it's squirting up onto the bed, squirting all over the gas tank. I have a blown line. So looks like I'll be doing a little bit of a brake line repair today, impromptu, instead of what my plans were. Fortunately, my plans were not my plans were to get Sylvester's oil change, or to get Sylvester's AC going and to do an oil change. So now we are switching gears and going to brake. Where are they at? Where's it at? I might have moved it. Let me look under here. Nope. Yeah, I moved it. Get my flaring kit and all that fun, happy stuff. I've got some line here. Got some fittings here. Whether or not they're the right ones or not, I don't know. I guess we will find out. No, I do not use compression fittings when repairing a brake line. That is an absolute no-no. You do not do that. I think the stuff that I need is under there. Well, let's see. Let me attach you guys right here. Get you turned around. Common Motor Collective, still waiting on Jessie to get a hold of me about getting this seat and tank for her CB 200. I think once she sees the tank, she's going to want to put that tank on also. And yes, I did. I remembered where it was at. Here's my double flaring set. So, CarQuest. And, whoops, my pipe cutter. And that should be the tubing bender that I need. So, yay, I get to do a brake job. How excited for me are you guys? Or a brake line job, I guess. Oh, look. Larry stopped by and dropped off another one of the seat belts for Prince Harry. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll get her pulled in here. I got to get everything cleared out of here so I've got room, but I'll get Sylvester pulled in here. Hopefully I won't run over a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to tackle that brake line. There's no real reason for you guys to watch. If you want to know how to do flaring of brake lines, there are places on YouTube all over everywhere that show that stuff. Frustration level on a Wednesday matches that of a typical Monday. Alright, that's enough, folks. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, please do. We'll see you on the next one. Later. I'm out.